just so wide, and he's got such a hog on him that you get to see in Gone Girl, and you don't get to see his hog in Batman v Superman.
I mean, should we the hashtag release the Don cut?
That's what the Snyder Bros need, another hashtag.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dying Rockstar time is here. That's right, we're talking about Billy Idol's Dancing with Myself on Kill by Kill's Kill the Rockstar. Well, greetings and salutations, Internet. It's your old pal Patrick Hamilton, coming to you once again from a nuclear wasteland. This is Kill by Kill's Kill the Rockstar. Every other week on our off-week episodes, we talk about a music video that is either tangentially horror-related or just killed that rock star's career. And this week, we got a goodie because we're talking about Billy Idol's Dancing with Myself, which was directed by the one and only Tobe Hooper and has lots of fun little Easter eggs in there. We'll talk all about them. But of course, before we do, there's only one person I trust to make sure I get up to the top floor where the zombies are and not that one floor where a lady's chained up in a shower. The one, the only, Gina Radcliffe. How are you doing today, Gina?
I've got my post-apocalyptic rags on. I'm ready to go.
Sure. They're very flowy material for these
you have to.
zombies.
You have to when you're doing some sort of like new romantic dancing.
Yes, true. Well, some of them are dancing, and some of them are doing a little stand-in-place fluttering.
Some are voguing. I would say a couple of them are what we later called voguing.
Well, there's the one guy who's tutting very, very definitively, like he's off the set of 1985's Breakin'. But we will get to it. I don't want to alarm you, Gina, because we're not alone. That's right. We have a very special guest. Of course, you know him as a prolific podcaster, of course, of F This Movie, and a returning champion to Kill by Kill, but a virgin to Kill the Rockstar, the one, the only, Patrick Bromley. How are you doing today, Patrick?
I just finished Dancing with Myself, and boy, are my arms tired.
Now, were you tutting, were you voguing, or were you doing the flappy dance?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was masturbating.
Oh, well, that makes a whole hell.
Well, you want to be relaxed before you talk to people.
Gets rid of the free radicals, as they say.
I assumed that's what we meant by dancing with myself.
I think that's what everyone assumes.
I think so,
dancing with yourself.
Yeah, that's always at the top. That's always at the top of the list. You know, these songs are actually about masturbation. It's like this and Turning Japanese and Shebop were the other ones.
But those other songs are more directly connected. Certainly, Shebop is, but this song comes directly from an experience where Billy Idol is with his band Gen X in Japan, and they go to a discotheque, and everyone is not dancing with each other, just looking straight into a mirror and dancing at their own reflection, which is something he says in the actual lyrics of the song. And it still comes off like he's, yanking a crank, boxing a clown, that whole schmear. Bromley?
Yes.
You love the rocks. You love the rolls. I know you're into Kiss.
I am.
One of these days, you're going to have to explain that to me. What is your experience with the one, the only Billy Idol?
I mean, I know the hits. I like the hits. I've always enjoyed his music, but I've never bought a Billy Idol album. Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorites of his songs, and not just because of the Tobe Hooper connection.
Right. How early did you know it was a Tobe Hooper joint? Because I swear I didn't know it was a Tobe Hooper directed music video until I think the pop-up video version of it appeared on VH1.
Yeah, I was definitely an adult. It wasn't because I didn't know a lot of directors' names as a kid. So it's like, oh, Martin Scorsese directed this video and Brian De Palma directed this video. And Tobe Hooper did Dancing with Myself.
Gina, what was the William Friedkin music video that we covered?
Self-Control.
Bromley, after this is over,
I
need you to watch Laura Branigan's Self-Control.
Directed done
by William Friedkin.
You won't believe it.
Where does it place on the Jade scale?
There's a lot of weird sex stuff. There's a lot of masked orgies. So the mask element kind of comes in there. It's not as focused on anal as a crazy thing that no one's ever heard of in San Francisco. So there's that. But also it uses tarps to simulate wet streets for reasons neither of us could figure out. It's very tarp heavy. It is the most tarp concerned, Friedkin output since Sorcerer. It's just really focused on it.
I love it. I'm going to be dancing with myself all over again.
Gina, how about you and Billy Idol? Do y'all go back?
Well, I mean, I'm very old, so I actually remember when I have mentioned numerous times that I was a day one MTV kid, so I certainly remember this video. Probably the song that I did like Billy Idol for a while. I had a couple of his albums. The big one for me was Eyes Without a Face. Which is, it's always weird to see the kids using it on the TikTok now, which is just like the background noise of a sad video, someone walking around a Target parking lot or something. It's just like, so that's amusing to me. I do occasionally like to look at his Instagram feed, because he's become a delightful senior citizen who often posts pictures of his adorable granddaughters, but also still takes a picture of himself snarling. So I still wears the complete leather suit, even though he's collecting a pension at this point. So I do like that aspect. I think he's just there's something innately likable about him, and as far as I know, I don't think he's been particularly problematic. I've never really was of him being getting involved with underage groupies. I know I do recall during this time he was in a long-term relationship with an adult woman. So, and I've never heard anything about being an abuser or anything like that. I mean, I think he used to have a drinking problem, but I mean, when you look at rock stars, that's pretty low ball. Right, so I have a certain, when I put the video on to rewatch it for this, I had a sort of little, warm sentimental feeling.
I view him as a music video star. I never owned an album, and of course at a certain point he gets taken off the table by a motorcycle accident. What I didn't know about Idol is that, in this song in particular, come from his previous version, because he was not born Billy Idol, everyone. He was born William Michael Albert Broad in 1955. And Idol is one of the founding members of the also ran Brit punk, but really it's more warmed over glam rock guitar outfit called Generation X. It's founded in 1976. It disbands in 1981. This song was written in 1980 for Gen X's Kiss Me Deadly album. And that version died at number 62 on the UK charts and did absolutely shit all here in the States. But when Gen X falls apart, Idol goes solo. And this is the first piece of songwriting that he resurrects for his singles career. And he pushes up his vocals in the mix, punches up the drums, kind of making it more dance forward. And the world is in love with New Wave. And it just kind of works. It's a smart move. This peaks at number 26 on the dance chart. Doesn't really crack the top 100. But the reason why it's as such a remembered piece of songwriting is that it was a massive hit on, as Gina noted, the nascent MTV, where it ran on the hour, every fucking hour, until White Wedding was released. They never stopped showing this music video.
Yeah, no, it was everywhere.
It is visually striking, I think, because it's an interesting and compelling piece of artwork, because at this point where, as we've kind of discussed, Gina, there's a lot of look at this band performing, look at Ozzy's replacement drummer I fucking knew for a solid 30 seconds in a music video. And this kind of absconds with all that and just gives you a vibe. And that vibe is the future / past / nuclear wasteland, or maybe it's just a zombie plague. We don't know.
I was going to say, something dystopia.
Whenever I see drawn buildings, Patrick, I'm like, ooh, someone gets me. I like a painting. I like a painting on a piece of glass that's pretending to be real.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm such a sucker for all that stuff, and I get so annoyed by most CG, and it's really just the modern day equivalent. But for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, that's so lazy. Yeah. But if somebody draws something, or we get a matte painting or a plate, I'm with you. I'm a total sucker for it.
It's, as we often say on the show, it's charm. It's artistic charm, and you can't replicate it with computers. And people think it looks too real. And then when it looks bad, you're like, I'm not even charmed by how bad it looks. Whereas when you get a nice matte painting, you're like, I just feel like someone cares about me. That's how it goes. Now, do either of you know the cinematic inspiration for this music video? Is a quiz time for you both.
I believe it's the Omega Man.
That's correct. The 1971 cinema classic, The Omega Man, famous for featuring one of the wildest sci-fi concepts ever committed to film, that being Charlton Heston watching Woodstock on a movie screen and crying in an abandoned theater. Probably crying because he could not have taken out his gun and killed everyone at that concert and shot all those hippies dead. But he can't now. Everybody's dead.
The only way to improve it would be to make it Shrek.
Why is this not a meme of just Charlton Heston crying watching the weirdest fucking movie?
Like, I mean, we already got that one.
He crying while watching a ghoulie pop.
We also got that with the George C. Scott Hardcore, where he's just like, turn it off, turn it off,
turn it off. Like, everyone's done that. Why isn't everyone memeing the fuck out of the Omega Man? There's so many froze in the Omega Man, Patrick.
Yeah,
people just don't put zombie vampires in froze anymore. They don't give them sparkly gowns. There's just, you can't replicate the Omega Man. You can only sit back in awe and just wonder how it all happened. And then that it's the same source material as The Last Man on Earth and I Am Legend. You could watch all three of those movies back to back and you go, I kind of get it, but also I don't get it at all.
I Am Legend and Omega Man, I feel like, are more closely related than the others. I feel like if you watched those back to back, because again, they do try to replicate the whole Woodstock thing with fucking Shrek.
And yet people don't remember that part. They just remember him walking around Times Square and there being a poster for Batman and Superman. And like, everyone's like, that's a good idea. Why didn't someone fucking do that? And then someone did. He's like, you got your wish. You happy now? That happened. Batman just shoots people.
He's a beefy guy, a beefy boy.
He is a very beefy boy because he works out with those big ass tires and chains and ropes. And he's just so wide. And he's got such a hog on him that you get to see in Gone Girl. And you don't get to see his hog in Batman v Superman.
I mean, should we put a hashtag release the Dong cut?
That's what the Snyder Bros need, another hashtag.
Yeah, honestly, Patrick, they do. They need to get back involved. They need to get into it. It was fun. It was exciting when they couldn't have the thing they wanted the most, and then they got it. And they're like, I don't know. What do I hate now? I got to find something where a woman appears. I got to hate that. It's such a weird fucking place to go. It's so odd to me. So the song, meanwhile, is born, as I mentioned, when Gen X is touring Japan, and Billy and his bandmate, his bassist, they go to a disco and all the patrons are dancing apart from one another in front of a large mirror. And so, you add a little colonialist xenophobia and feelings of isolation in a land where you don't know the language, culture, or customs, and you've got a recipe for an iconic 80s rock hit. And if you were wondering why all the zombies have white faces, it's an Omega Man reference again. If you were wondering why one of them lives in a garbage can, a very clean garbage can, like their Oscar the Grouch, I can't help you. Why do they all have the same clothes, Patrick? Where are they? Are all of them shopping in the same place?
This was the 80s, so venture is the answer.
It's like they're all in the same gang in the Warriors. Only
the albino zombies.
Yeah, there's zombies with crazy hair and bleached in a weird place, like they've all put in sun in and forgotten it was there and laid out on the rocks all afternoon by the lake, on a lake beach. It's not fully thought through, but again, it's not telling a story. This is a vibe.
No, I mean, the vibe is Billy Idol's got a vest made out of rubber hoses. Presumably bought at the same store that Willem Dafoe bought his rubber overalls for Streets of Fire. He's very much
or possibly the same store that Ripley 8 gets her outfit.
Very fetishy look for everyone. And he's on a roof. They want to get to that roof so they can boogie. Because he's already up there. He's where the party. He's where the party is.
Yes, in the mad world that they live in, that roof is what
where it's at. That's the hot spot.
Yeah. So while the zombies can travel outside simply by clawing their way up a very tall building, as we all can do if we really put our minds to it. Billy has to take a more mundane traveling route, and that is by elevator. The first floor, I guess, is Billy's flat. Who can say? It's just a place where he has a giant poster of a lady with a star on her head that might be a samurai vampire. I'm not sure what this image is, who created it, but he not only has it on his wall, he's got it on
I
his
think
arm.
that, if I recall, that was a motif that popped up a lot in his videos at that point.
It's art that speaks to him. Who created it? I'd love to know. I searched for an afternoon trying to get to the bottom of this. There's no information on it. Billy's not saying anything, and I didn't know how to get in contact with him. It just exists in both places, and he strokes the hell out of that tattoo, Patrick.
He is rubbing it like he just got it. Like, I don't know if either of you have tattoos, but I have a few, and them shits is itchy for the first couple of weeks.
I tried to find the source of the painting. I couldn't find an answer, but it did get me to subscribe to Heavy Metal Magazine.
I actually found a Tumblr page that has an excerpt of an interview that Billy Idol gave about the tattoo. He says it is a cartoon character who is sort of inspired by Brigitte Bardot. She's a Russian spy, and she defeats communism. It sounds like he just liked the image of this sexy lady with a star in her head and kind of embraced it as a personal brand.
Man, you have to be one hell of a spy to have a star on your forehead.
That's hard. That's hard. I mean, unless she has some really good foundation, that's hard to hide.
Yeah.
Maybe she grew bangs over it.
Like, Bond announces himself way too much to be a spy, but at least he doesn't have such a defining mark. They're like, who overthrew communism? That lady with the star on her forehead?
The sexy lady with the star on her head?
One lady with a star on her forehead. Yeah. So first floor, outside of the artwork, doesn't have much going on. But when you get to the second floor, people, now you got a party. Because it's your classic combination of karate dojo / British couple where the lady likes to knit and the gent enjoys a ball peen hammer.
Yeah, I kind of always got the impression that like it cuts away just as he's about to bury that thing in the back of her head.
But it's but it's also like, what is the trope this is running off of? It just like talk about a Three's Company situation. How long have the karate ladies and this couple been living together? Is it a
quadruple?
Like I need to know, or do the karate ladies simply use this couple's living room as their workout space, and they live somewhere else, but it just doesn't have the right vibe for karate.
I'm not going to do it now, but I would be curious if anybody's ever like created a master list of how many music videos of the 80s by white people just randomly dropped in like quote unquote Asian imagery. Whether it's like mysterious Asian lady. I mean, of course, obviously the big one is China Girl, but that was hardly the only one. Or you would just have people randomly, doing martial arts. like I think that was just supposed to be like synonymous with mysterious. Something strange and foreign is happening here. So yeah, I think that's all this is this is weird. This very proper looking English couple, has ladies doing karate, and also this guy might be about to murder his wife.
Yeah, he loves that ball peen hammer too much. He is
jauntily spinning it in his hand. He's just doing a Patrick Bateman with that axe.
I haven't seen every episode of Three's Company.
Is there an episode that involves karate ladies?
Did Jack kill Chrissy?
There's a reason why she doesn't show up again.
You thought
Barnes is there wondering what's that?
They tell you she moved away to get married, but we all know.
But she's rotting under the foundation because she's got a ball peen hammer in the floor.
That's why Mr. Furley's always making that face.
It's not like it's like Jesus Christ. Fucking died here.
It smells like an abattoir in here. Why is there blood coming out of the faucet? There's skeletons coming out of the pool. The tree outside trying to grab me, and the clown was distracting me. I didn't know I had him.
You've been busting out like you just did like 10 minutes of Bela Lugosi like an hour ago. You were worn out, my friend. My goodness. You're like a regular Rich Little, except actually you're pretty good at these voices.
I have a lot in common with Rich Little. I'm ever present and I'm not particularly funny. So it works.
And you did a one-man show of A Christmas Carol.
Why isn't that everyone's favorite Christmas Carol? I'll tell you why.
Because it blows.
It sucks fucking rocks. It blows.
My tummy hurts.
How many Christmas ghosts can Johnny Carson possibly do?
Stop it, please. Stop. My stomach hurts. We have to take this very serious.
It's going nowhere. Opens envelope. Your future. So, again, I don't do character work, so I don't know why I'm continuing to try to do Rich Little's version of Carson. It's even a harder version of Carson.
Go on, you guys talk. I gotta get my breath back.
As always, Kill by Kill best enjoyed with a Wikipedia page open and ready.
And probably an edible.
Gotta understand those references. We haven't even gotten to the third floor. Third floor is, I think, Billy's bassist, a guy by the name of Phil Veit. And he's sharpening a
Is he like the
straight
skinny?
razor.
Is he the skinny Elvis impersonator? He's got that rockabilly. He's got that
wilder
rockabilly hair.
Yeah.
He's got rockabilly hair. He's straightening. He's got fingerless gloves, which means he means business. And he's sharpening a straight razor on a strip. And there's a silhouetted woman behind him, apparently trapped in a bathtub by giant chains around her neck and arm. And Billy just is like, "Hey, Phil," and keeps on going.
I'll leave you to it.
Hey, lady, behind silhouetted. That's a YP, not an MP.
I hope you guys,
Later.
you kids have fun.
Oh, it must be Tuesday.
Oh, where do you keep getting women? Ow, I'm off to the fourth floor. And it's like we don't know what that is. We're just left with this haunting vision. Meanwhile, on the street, the Sweet Tunes are driving these zombie vampire people crazy. They just got to start climbing some walls.
They got the music in them.
And then we get to the fourth floor. And we like to call this the Toby Hooper Suite. Why? Tell us why, Patrick.
Because we've got a skeleton from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a mannequin a puppet from the Funhouse.
Damned.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I've seen that fucking puppet before. I did not know that. This is completely news to me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really put two and two together until the special features for the Funhouse. Like he bought all of the figurines after that movie and took them with him, and lo and behold, one of them shows up in this music video along with. Is that just a skeleton, or is it Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw? I mean, you don't really get that good of a look at it.
It looks like Grandpa, but I couldn't say that it's.
It was
Grandpa.
take your skeleton to work day.
We all have one, and this was Toby's. And they're just sharing a laugh together. They're just vibing.
Oh, they're having
Laughing
a
and sharing
great time. They're like doing what we're doing right now, just cracking each other up.
This is like, remember those times where we were like pure grade A nightmare fuel? Those were the days. But we passed them goodbye. And Billy's finally at the top floor.
Where David S. Pumpkins appears.
But who are you? And he gets out on the roof, and this is where we get a real solid look at what he's wearing, because you get the tube top, literally. It's clothing made of tubes. And he just has pants. They're just pants. They don't seem that important. It's when you got a actual tube top, I don't think you can.
Yeah, they tell you they tell you
focus
have like
on
a
that.
statement piece. You know, don't have competing statement pieces. Like you're wearing like really garish pants, like wear like an understated shirt.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wearing a vest constructed out of tire inner tubes, you know, just go for an understated leather. Yes.
Simple black. Outside the building, zombies are really making headway up this building. And thankfully, Toby has learned a thing or two from Carpenter's Dark Star or John Badham's Dracula or ABC's Batman, and has turned the set sideways, and you just see them kind of clawing their way while they're lying on the floor. It's very cute and charming. All I'm saying is, if the goal is to not be turned into a garbage zombie, and they can climb whole ass buildings, don't lure them up the side of a building with your sick beats and raging guitars.
No, don't do it.
Very bad idea. Don't do it. But Billy can't be dissuaded. He has to rock. There's something inside of him that says everyone needs to hear this fucking song. Even though he's got a chair and he could lay down in it, Does he? No. He remains standing. He remains vigilant. He is going to.
Well, I mean, I was going to say
himself.
the song
He's
is
going to
called
pump his
"Sitting by
fist.
Myself."
And yet the set dressing might tell you something different.
It's sweeping the nursing homes. It's sitting with myself.
And I guess this is what, and I'll put explains in dick fingers. Billy reaching out to two massive electrical coils once they reach this balcony and holding on to both of them concurrently and sparking a massive electrical explosion with his bare hands.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, it blows these like punk rock zombies off the roof, but he's just like, yeah, rock and roll.
I mean, is that what electricity does? I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, this is not a theory you want to
podcast.
test out.
I was going to give it a whirl because I have access to a rooftop with massive
But do you have a
coils. And you're
but
telling
do you
me
have a
this is
vest
bad
made
idea?
out of rubber tubing?
So you're saying that the rubber tubing might be grounding Billy Idol.
I'm saying
and
I
this
don't
is
think
what
it hurts to
creates
have
the
one.
Repercussions. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to inquire around.
Look,
town
if you could
to see I can
find something
pull
like that
one
anywhere,
apart.
it'd be Los Goddamn Angeles.
I mean, Patrick, do you have anything in your closet that's made of plastic?
Just my tube pants, but I never wear them with my tube shirt.
Right. So you go tube shirt and tube pants.
No,
And-
that's redundant.
okay. You wear them
One or the
in
other.
alternating
Yes.
fashion.
Yes.
I see. So, like, what is the evening where you wear tube top versus the evening where you wear tube pants?
Tube pants are for more formal stuff or when I want to # release the dong cut.
Right.
You got to be dressed to impress.
True.
I don't know that this is a specific Funhouse reference, but Billy grabbing those two generators or whatever, that's sort of the same fate that befalls Gunther at the end of the
True.
Funhouse.
I mean, it doesn't put out Gunther. That's the thing.
No.
Like, Gunther takes it. And after that, he's like, I'm a little wiped. I still want to kill you, but my brains,
I'm
which
just
we
gonna
don't know how
rest
many of
between
them are
these
in this
gears
very
here."
large skull, are a little scrambled.
And then the zombies go flying off the roof like they're Dick Jones in RoboCop.
I mean, so some of them do like very acrobatic. Some do very acrobatic somersaults. Like I thought that if like somebody like parodied this video, you'd have like the people sitting at the table holding up the card to say 9.3, 5, 10.0.
That one guy's flip is so good. Hooper shows it twice.
He's like, oh fuck yeah,
He doesn't
this is
even
great.
vary it. And like this is too good. Like, I need 5 extra seconds. You got to see this guy.
This guy's doing the fucking triple Lindy off the roof here.
Tell my story.
And so we don't really see them land. We just see the ass.
They just land like a pile of punk rock zombies.
Just an absolute pile of zombs. And one of them is lying atop that very clean garbage can. Across it. Not inside of it. Across the top of it. And then they're just like, well, that happened. And then they all get up. And before you know it, they're at the top of this fucking thing. Before the song is even over.
Sisyphus sitch. Ooh, that's rough.
That's what to say.
It really is.
I'm doing a little like Sylvester.
Dennis Miller's like, these zombies are harder to kill than Steven Seagal, babe.
It's like
They're just gonna jujitsu you into a clean garbage can. Babe. Again, I am not going
the
to do voices
freshest
on this
refs.
podcast. There's nothing kids love more.
I mean, we
than
could
Dennis
have been
Miller.
topical and had him say, you can't, these are hard to kill in Henry Kissinger, but hey, whoop.
Die in hell. So, Jesus.
100 years.
Prince died in 2016.
100
for
years.
Christ's sakes. Oh my God. Just was he sitting in an iron lung for half a decade?
I'm
was he
pretty
still
sure.
alive?
They always people always joke that like Keith Richards would always get like blood transfusions from like Swedish virgins. I'm pretty sure that Henry Kissinger is doing just that.
I'm telling you, I'm happy he's gone, but also, does that mean that Keith Richards is probably next?
I hope not.
Should we
I
get
hope
a
not.
watch on him?
I'm trying to go see them next summer, so let's hope he lives long enough.
Right. Yeah. I have not listened to the entirety of that new album, but I also have not listened to the entirety of a new Rolling Stones album since 1994. I'm going to say.
I really like the new album, but as has been previously established, I also like Kiss.
Again, you should not apologize.
I mean, there was an entire summer. What summer did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood come out? Was that in 2019? Where I spent much of the summer after seeing that listening to Out of Time, just like repeatedly. So I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. It makes complete sense. I do love the Stones. I'm like dragons, where my brain just shuts off. I see Kiss and my brain shuts off. So it's a personal problem. It's not a problem with Kiss. He's a
snob.
See, we have a chance.
He's a
We have
snob.
a chance to be more current by talking about popular music, but we're still talking about acts that are 50 and 60 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. I mean, people don't come here for the current references. Those are other podcasts.
If we don't
podcasts.
constantly concede to being old, I mean, it would come through in our references.
Yeah. When Gina says I'm old, part of me shrinks even more because I am like a full year and a half older than her. So I don't want to admit I'm old, but she's very happy to, and yet it just fucking comes out. So Patrick, do you have any other thoughts, any burning needs when it comes to the Billy Idol Toby Hooper joint known as Dancing with Myself?
I love that he got a chance to direct a music video. I love that he kind of puts an authorial stamp on it, even if it's just that one scene in the apartment on the 4th floor. I do kind of wish that one of the floors had that girl doing the dance from Cradle of Love, just to connect the Billy Idol universe.
Yes, of course. My favorite part about the Cradle of Love video is that it had to be created that way because he had been in that motorcycle accident and could not stand on what was a leg that very well could have been cut off. And so they're just like, I don't know, you're in the paintings? And everyone's like, it's fine. That works. It's Ford Fairlane. This will not last. Like, it's the fact that I remember it's from The Adventures of Ford Fairlane puts me in a bad light, not that song or the music video.
I liked that video when I was a kid. I definitely was dancing with myself, babe.
I think we can wrap it up on that note.
Yeah, it's not going to get better. That's the camper.
That's all downhill from there.
So that just about does it. Josh Hollis does all of our artwork. Go to joshhollis.com. Revenge Body Memphis at bandcamp.com for all of our tunes. Patrick, where can people go on these here internets to see and hear and learn more about what you do?
fthismovie.com. New content every day. New episodes of the podcast every Wednesday. And I'm on Twitter at Patrick Bromley.
Do it today. I have always said that, Patrick, You are the centerpiece of cinema positivity. I love that you love what you talk about, and it is so pure and it is so genuine. And you are what the internet needs, which is someone who loves what they watch and is not afraid to tell people why.
I appreciate that so much. That's something that I've tried to learn to contribute over the years, because I definitely started out being a snarky asshole.
Well, we've continued.
Why change?
Well, listen, we only have one review who says we're too smarmy, so I think we're doing okay.
Oh, that's not
Gina,
bad
where
at all.
can people find you?
So see, the
on
key
these
is when we do
internets?
love something, we love it hard, baby. We dance with ourselves
Yes,
over it.
yes. We're not afraid to make fun of what we love either. It's a
Exactly.
everyone gets it.
You can find me writing about movies and television at thespool.net. I also have a newsletter. It's GinaWatchesThings.substack.com. Right now, I'm currently doing a Midnight Mass rewatch. And I am on Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok under Gina Does Things.
Do it today, people. Check it out. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Join us on Patreon for fun bonus content and our socials everywhere but Twitter, because fuck that joint. And that just about does it. The dog is done. The body count will continue for myself, for Gina, for Patrick, and Oswald, apparently. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.